The famous Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are in the midst of a legal battle that might permanently alter the lives of their children, Lilibet, Diana Mountbatten-Windsor, and Archie Mountbatten-Windsor, in a startling turn of events. Currently, one of the most contentious royal custody disputes in history is taking place in California courts. A formal investigation into the well-being of the children has been launched by California Child Protective Services, CPS. The court's increasing concern over possible exploitation, financial mismanagement, and hazardous environments is demonstrated by this unprecedentedly serious and transparent action. The stakes have never been higher for the Sussex family, as a secret guardian ad litem was appointed in November 2024 to act in the best interests of the children. Guardian ad litem, an unknown vigilante. The only duty of a guardian ad litem, GAL, a professional appointed by the court, is to represent the child's interests in court. The court's concern for the welfare of the children was demonstrated in this case when the GAL was covertly assigned to Archie and Lilibet. According to insiders, the GAL has been thoroughly reviewing custody agreements, staff testimony, and financial records. One legal observer said, "The GAL's involvement is a red flag. It typically signifies that the court is not entirely certain that the children's interests are being adequately represented." The drama is only increased by the appointment's secrecy. The GAL works in private to conduct investigations and provide the judge with direct reports, in contrast to traditional custody hearings that are open to the public. This could have a big impact on custody decisions, since it guarantees that children are taken into account without regard to parental influence or media narratives. Children. Earnings of $6.7 million without Coogan accounts. The financial industry has made a significant discovery. A bankruptcy trustee found that Archie and Lilibet made a total of $6.7 million from media ventures, licensing agreements, and commercial appearances. Surprisingly, none of this money was placed into Coogan accounts, which are mandated by law in California to safeguard a child's income. The Coogan Law, which was created in 1939 in response to the theft of child actor Jackie Coogan's profits, stipulates that a certain percentage of all child performers' earnings must be placed in a trust account. Serious legal and criminal consequences may result from noncompliance. This is a significant infringement, according to legal authorities. According to a California entertainment lawyer, not having Coogan accounts is not just an oversight, it's a violation of California law. It calls into question whether the children's financial interests are being protected and who is in charge of their earnings. Public indignation has been stoked by this discovery alone, with detractors claiming that Archie and Lilibet may have been taken advantage of for financial benefit. However, supporters of Meghan and Harry maintain that the family always intended to abide by the law, and that the problem is a misunderstanding. Lilibet-Diana Trust. Dubious monetary practices. The Lilibet-Diana Trust was created in March 2023 and represents another significant step. Investigators have identified the trust as a possible fraudulent transfer intended to protect assets from creditors, even though it was intended to hold specific assets for Lilibet. According to documents, the trust has millions of dollars in earnings, including money from business endeavors and media enterprises. According to legal experts, the court's decision to declare the trust a fraudulent conveyance might have significant ramifications for custody and financial management. California law takes into account the child's best interests in terms of money, as well as mental and physical well-being. A court may step in to make things right if it determines that a trust is intended more for asset protection than for the child's benefit. Montecito Mansion. Eyebrows are raised by partial transfer. Questions concerning asset preservation tactics were raised in August 2023 when the title to the Montecito Mansion was partially transferred to Lilibet. Critics contend that although estate planners frequently give property to kids for inheritance or tax purposes, in this instance, it might have been an effort to protect assets from continued financial problems or scrutiny. According to legal experts, the court will examine any property transfer to a child more closely. The transfer in this case occurs while other financial irregularities, such as the hidden earnings and trust issues, are being looked into. When combined, these acts present a nuanced picture of financial scheming that may have an impact on the court's custody rulings. allegations and reports from staff, behavioral inconsistencies, controlled appearances, and NDAs. Allegations have been made by former employees that the Sussex home is extremely controlled, with stringent non-disclosure agreements governing employee conduct and the appearance of the children. According to several insiders, Meghan's actions with Archie and Lilibet vary according on whether or not there are cameras around. Speaking anonymously, one nanny disclosed, "Everything appears to be flawless when the cameras are rolling. The kids are treated more like assets than like children when they are away. The pressure to perform and be camera-ready is high." This calls into doubt the commercial exploitation of children under California law. The court considers whether children are viewed as private individuals with the right to play, education, and normal growth, or as public property. Other employees stated that non-disclosure agreements were utilized to restrict their capacity to give honest statements to authorities or the media, in addition to protecting privacy by enforcing a controlled narrative about the family. Spending $2.1 million on security. Is looks more important than protection? According to reports, the Sussex family spent $2.1 million on security in 2023. However, according to insiders, rather than actually protecting the youngsters, a large portion of this funding was used to enforce NDAs and manage public perceptions. While well-known families need to be protected, the safety of the children should always come first, according to security experts. The court, media, and general public have all expressed concern about the purported preference for secrecy and image management over true security. California's Best Interest Standard for Child Welfare. The Best Interest Standard, a framework that puts the child's well-being first, is being used by the California court to assess all of the information. Important things to think about are financial security. Are the kids' earnings properly managed and protected by law? Emotional welfare. Are the social and psychological needs of the kids being satisfied? Exploitation risk. Are the kids being used for profit or for potentially harmful public appearances? Parental conduct. How do the choices and actions of parents impact the growth of their children? The court is considering every possibility in order to ascertain what is actually in the best interest of the children, taking into account the mix of concealed revenues, dubious trusts, mansion transfers, and staff testimony regarding commercial pressure. Public reaction and the media. Both traditional and social media sources have been rocked by the news of the probe. Supporters are split. Some are indignant and worried about Archie and Lilibet's well-being, while others stand up for Meghan and Harry, claiming the attention is unjust and sensationalized. With hashtags like hashtag Sussex Custody, hashtag Archie and Lilibet, and hashtag Meghan Markle explained dominating social media feeds, the story has swiftly gone viral internationally. Analysts point out that by making the court and CPS more eager to take decisive action, public opinion may have an indirect impact on processes. Legal professionals offer their opinion. California legal scholars emphasize that this issue is extremely difficult because to the convergence of welfare, custodial, and financial problems. According to a family law lawyer, this goes beyond custody preferences or parenting approaches. The court must prioritize protecting the welfare of the children when dealing with millions of dollars in undeclared earnings, trusts that are being scrutinized, and claims of commercial exploitation. There is nothing more at risk. According to experts, the court could increase the rigor of financial and custody arrangements, mandate Coogan keeps track of all earnings, whether past and future, put some trust assets on hold while they are reviewed, suggest parenting classes or supervise custody agreements. Exciting new information has emerged in the ongoing California custody battle, revealing a behind-the-scenes drama that has not yet been covered by the media. With the help of leaked documents, interviews with former employees, and a thorough financial analysis, our exclusive investigation presents a clear picture of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's alleged handling of Archie Mountbatten-Windsor and Lilibet Diana Mountbatten-Windsor's lives and income. According to court documents that have been leaked, the Lilibet Diana Trust, which was created in March 2023, has millions of dollars in media revenue and commercial royalties. Some transfers have been reported by investigators as possibly fraudulent, presumably in an effort to protect assets from creditors or ongoing legal action. These results imply that the trust might have been used to put financial scheming ahead of the welfare of the kids. Speaking under strict confidentiality, former employees describe a home setting that is meticulously regulated for public appearances. Archie and Lilibet were rarely allowed to just play, one nanny disclosed. Even in the garden, every activity was arranged for cameras or pictures. Meghan's behavior changed when there were no cameras present, and the kids felt under pressure to behave in a particular way. They seemed to exist more as performers than as children. Strict non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, according to another employee, made it difficult for staff members to voice concerns, even when they saw actions that would have put the kids under emotional or financial strain. The children's aggregate income from commercial endeavors was found to be $6.7 million, but no Coogan accounts were ever created. Earnings from child performers must be legally protected under California law. Otherwise, there may be civil and criminal penalties. Analysts caution that in order to protect the children's finances, the court may create these accounts retrospectively, analyze previous earnings, and impose oversight procedures. Spending on security was also questioned. Although $2.1 million was allegedly spent in 2023, sources suggest that rather than offering true protection, the majority of this funding was utilized to manipulate public perception and impose NDAs. Experts point out that it is extremely uncommon to put image control ahead of kid safety, and this could have a significant impact on court assessments. Legal teams tried to restrict guardian ad litem interviews to public appearances only, according to confidential records. Critics claim this was done in an effort to change the GAL's opinion of the home setting. The procedures were further complicated by the request for protective orders to seal personal and financial data. Concerns over the possible emotional and developmental impacts of ongoing public scrutiny, staged appearances, and exposure to commercial demands have been voiced by child psychologists the court consulted. Experts caution that these circumstances may affect identity development, self-worth, and general well-being, all of which are taken into account during custody evaluations under California's best interest standard. According to courtroom insiders, the atmosphere is hostile, with judges complaining about repeated attempts to restrict transparency and JAL reports pointing out differences between the kids' private and public conduct. In the meantime, it seems that public opinion has been influenced by media manipulation techniques such as strategically scheduled social media posts, picky interviews, and staged appearances meant to uphold the Sussex brand. Legal analysts foresee a number of potential consequences, including trust audits, structured parenting, full financial oversight with retroactive Coogan accounts, and even civil or criminal fines in the event that financial malfeasance is shown. The court's aim is unmistakable. Archie and Lilibet's well-being must come before fame, public perception, or financial gain. The stakes go well beyond custody, as our exclusive investigation demonstrates. The Sussex family's public image, the children's financial and emotional welfare, and their legal obligations are all closely monitored. The events that are currently taking place for Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, and their kids mark a turning point that may reshape the expectations of celebrity parenting, as well as the administration of prestigious properties and income.